Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin-Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office, contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.
I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Neenah Common Council for Wednesday, August 21st, 2019. Excuse me. Proper notice has been given, and the first item of business is the roll call. If members would please punch in on the roll call machine and answer the clerk as your name is called, please.
Alderman Boyette. Here. Bates.
Here.
Lang.
Here.
Lendrum.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
Spellman.
Here.
Steele. Coons.
Here.
Stevenson.
Here.
There are 8 members present, 1 absent. Alderman Steele is excused. She had let me know some time ago that she would not be able to attend this meeting. There's a quorum present. Tonight's pledge will be led by Alderman Boyette.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Tonight we have some mayor's appointments, and we have at least one person joining us. So I'd like to start off by Mayor Coffert's reappointment of Jane Lang on the Landmarks Commission for a 3-year term to expire July 2022. Is there a motion?
So moved.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve Jane Lang. Unanimous consent for that approval?
I have an objection. But
Sorry.
I would like to discuss this item.
Oh, sure. Okay. Alderman Coons.
Thank you, Mayor. I have no objection to Jane Lane being on Landmarks Commission, but
It took long just to get a second.
I do have a question in that, from a clarity standpoint, Jane Lang is appointed by the council on that board, and now the mayor is appointing her and being approved by the council to be twice on the board. I'm not sure how that. I just trying to understand it. That's all.
She is both. She has a 3-year term that expired this last July, and then she is also, because she's on the committee, the mayor appointed her as the council rep as well. It's similar to when Alderman Hillstrom, before he retired, he wanted to stay on the Park and Rec Commission as well, and he did, and now that he's retired as an alderman, he stayed on the Park and Rec Commission, and had he not done that, he wouldn't be back on the Park and Rec Commission because we have people waiting to get on there. So she just stayed on because that was her position prior to becoming an alderman, and she wanted to stay on the Landmarks Commission as a member.
And we see no issue from a voting, from a legal standpoint, Jim? Is there any
Well, she only counts as one person for quorum purposes.
I'm sorry to bring you up so much, Jane. I'm happy to have her on Landmarks Commission, knowing better on there. I was just curious to how it worked. I'm fine. Thank you.
She does the work of.
Yes.
I will tell you that the story. She goes the extra mile on that because on that particular night is usually the Plan Commission, and then Landmarks, and then Public Works and Services, right? So she usually has a bag of peanuts and a soda in front of her. to fill her up during that 3 or 4 hour time frame. So, all right.
And she doesn't share them.
No.
I
That's why,
tried. She won't share.
that's why Todd didn't second it. All right. There is a motion and a second for the reappointment of Jane Lang on the Landmarks Commission for a 3-year term to expire July 2022. Unanimous consent for that? Is there any objection? That's so ordered. Mayor Crawford's appointment of Monica Larrabee as a first alternate to fill the expired term of Jose Morales as a regular member on the Landmarks Commission for a 3-year term that will expire July 2022. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve Monica Larrabee term on the Landmarks Commission. The motion was Bates, and the second was Lendrum. Motion was Bates, second was Lendrum. Any discussion? Seeing no discussion, any objection to unanimous consent? Seeing none, that's so ordered. Alderman Bates,
I second it.
and then Alderman Erickson reluctantly. We're not going to quit. Okay.
And who made the motion here for Monica? And then who
Bates,
seconded?
Lendrum.
Bates and Lendrum. Okay. For some reason, Joe did some kind of update to the system today, and it's not letting you put your motions and seconds in. So I'm going to have to make sure that I get them down on paper before. So
Okay.
Okay. So this is a unanimous consent also.
Yes, with no objection. 2 fine individuals to the Landmarks Commission. So, item number C, Mayor Crawford's appointment of Hakes or Hawks, I forgot to ask, I apologize, to fill the unexpired term of Melody Vanderkook on the Sustainable Neenah Committee. This term will expire December 2020. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Stevenson moves, seconded by Alderman Bates. Any discussion? Is there any objection to unanimous consent? That's so ordered. We will swear in these folks in a minute. Mayor Crawford's appointment to fill the expired term of Wayne Siegel on the Board of Review for a 5-year term to expire June 2024. I asked Patty to put this on because I was trying to, I believed we were going to meet with an individual who has shown some interest in this. We are having that meeting Friday, so I'm going to ask that be pushed back to the next meeting. Okay, but we got to get that filled before the Board of Review in October. So I'm meeting with an individual Friday about filling that. The clerk will swear with us tonight. We have Theo, who I will tell you came to the office and inquired about this. He showed a real interest in it, and so it's nice to have a new fresh face. So come on up to the microphone, Theo. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself before you get sworn in?
Sure. This is.
It's on.
First of all, I'd like to thank everyone who's responsible for me being here today. I'm very excited about this position. A little bit about me. I'm a rising senior. I live here in Neenah. And I was interested in this position for sort of 2 reasons. One being that nature and the environment has definitely been like a formative part of my childhood and like my upbringing. I've always been like taught to sort of go outside and appreciate the world around us. And I think from that sort of naturally, I developed a passion for sustainability and protecting the environment. So when I found this position, I thought it matched my interests perfectly. And then secondly, I hope to study political science or public policy in conjunction with sustainability in college. So I thought this would be a great way to get some hands-on experience. And as far as qualifications, this is obviously my first government-ish position, but I participated in Badger Boys State earlier this summer, And there I learned about parliamentary procedure and Robert's Rules of Order, and I served on the Senate, and I learned what it meant to be part of a governing body. So I'm looking forward to applying some of that knowledge to this position.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Clerk Stern will swear you in.
Okay. If you will raise your right hand. I, Theo Hawks,
I, Theo Hawks,
having been appointed
to
the Sustainable Neenah Committee
the Sustainable Neenah Committee
for the City of Neenah,
for the City of Neenah,
Winnebago County,
Winnebago County,
do solemnly swear
to support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of Wisconsin,
of the State of Wisconsin,
and faithfully discharge the duties of a member of the Sustainable Neenah Committee to the best of my ability. So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And also, Jane, would you like to get sworn, or you don't need to?
I
Yeah?
want to get sworn in.
Okay, Jane will come to your office.
Thank
So
you.
thank you and welcome. Okay? Appreciate your volunteering and welcome aboard. Righty. Give Patty a minute here to catch up. The next item of business is approval of the council proceedings of August 7th, 2019. Is there a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
There's a motion by Lang, seconded by Lendrum, to approve the minutes for August 7th. Any discussion, corrections, additions, or comments? Seeing none, unanimous consent to approve the minutes. Is there any objection? Seeing none, that's ordered. There are no public hearings. Plan Commission, none. Public forum. Public forum is an opportunity for people to speak to the council on any topic that they would like. Is there anyone here who would like to address the Common Council tonight? Welcome.
White Kerr, 434 High Street, Neenah. I'm here tonight to thank the mayor and the members of the Common Council and the Parks and Recreation Commission for the garbage containers on the Trestle Trail. I've had a couple of the neighbors right on my neighborhood have commented on it, and I know that the Eagle Scout project towards Doty Park will like the fact that there's a garbage container also. That's the first thing I was here for, and thank you very much, all of you. The second thing is, I noticed that we bought 2 buildings down by Cook Park by us, and they were being demolished yesterday and today. I've tried to find out what our plans are for Cook Park, and unless I missed something, I haven't been able to locate what our intentions are. And I've had a couple of people ask me right in the neighborhood if somebody could direct me to where that would be. I'd appreciate that. And that's all I have.
Good, thank you. Right, we'll answer your questions in the Mayor Council consideration of public forum issues. Thank you very much. Anyone else who'd like to address the council on any topic? Seeing no one else, I will close the public forum, go to Mayor Council consideration of public forum issues. I will just say this. We took part in Doty Island. Community Development was able to find some funds to help partner with the Doty Island group to buy the new garbage cans so that we could pick them up with the new equipment for Commercial Street and that. I had also asked Mike Kading about a couple garbage cans for the trail system. Park and Rec doesn't like to put garbage cans out in parks. That's a national thing that you're supposed to carry in, carry out. The trail, I think, in my estimation, is a little bit different bird because people are not, they're starting at one place, ending at another, things like that. So we figured out a way how to put a garbage can there, and I believe at Herb and Dolly, I believe there's two garbage cans out. They're getting, from what I'm told, a lot of usage, but we ensured that we don't spend a lot of manpower picking them up, that the garbage crew can get in there where they're located and get them. With regards to the second issue, with regards to the homes, Mr. Kerr, City of Neenah, I'll let Chris, but we did buy one home, not 2. As we understand it, the other home is in bankruptcy or something, foreclosure. we have some interest in that. I've asked staff to look into the possibility. I'll let Chris maybe explain a little bit of the plans. But
Well, I just hope we didn't knock down 2 houses, because
The other one is still up.
thank you. No, the mayor's right. We acquired,
and if we did, Chris was in charge.
but all flows uphill. No, kidding. No. The mayor's correct. We are removing the one home, as you saw. In terms of plans for the park, as far as I know, really the only intent there is to add to the square footage of the park. So there are no immediate plans to do anything other than add open space as part of that park. I think
Long-range plans, or maybe some plans to change where the bathroom and that is located.
that's correct. And I think the park plan for many years has identified the 4 homes on water. There's 3 more between the one we took down on River Street as potential acquisitions. And as the mayor mentioned, the home immediately to the east of the one that was removed is it's in some form of foreclosure. It actually went to share sale and did not sell. So we're exploring the possibility of trying to acquire that one as well, see what that might entail.
So we saw an opportunity. The other homeowner came to us, right, Chris, with the ability to, if we were interested. The best time to buy these homes are when they're vacant or when they're in between, so we don't have to pay relocation costs, those types of things. So that's why we knew it was in a long-range plan, so that's why we took advantage of it now. Good question, though. Thank you. Item number, anyone else? Alderman Stevens.
Yeah, just to follow up to that, I remember at the time the council approved the project of house demolition. Director Kading did share with us that ideally, long range, he would envision the park building being relocated, but there was no plans at this time to do that. But that would be as part of the long range planning for all of our parks that we prioritized accordingly.
Thank you for that. Mr. Kerr, Patty, you could probably. Are you looking for the action too?
I looked, I saw there was some money in the capital plan for Cook Park.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what was
Yeah. There was a separate motion by the council. The clerk can find that motion. We'll send it to you, okay? Thank you. Item number 8 is the consent agenda. Item number 8A, is there a motion?
So move to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second discussion. Bates? Oh, yeah, she's on the ones before that. I apologize. Yep, you're on the ones later, so thank you. There's a motion and a second to approve the beverage operator license applications for those following individuals. Motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, unanimous consent. Unanimous consent. Any objection? Seeing none, that's ordered. Item number 9, here's reports of standing committees. The regular Public Services and Safety Committee meeting of August 13th, 2019. Chairman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. Minutes can be found on the city website. The committee recommends council adopt ordinance 2019-19, amending Article 3 of the Neenah Electrical Code, and I would so move.
Second.
Alderman Bates moves, seconded by Alderman Lendrum, to adopt ordinance number 2019-19. Discussion. Questions? Seeing none, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no, using the roll call machine. That motion passes 8-0.
Got some information here. I move to consolidate, this is off the agenda, but it's consolidating items 9A, 2, 3, and 4 relating to the issuance of beverage operator licenses under probation to Chloe Allen, Kelsey Backhorn, and Grace Kenny, and I would so move. Consolidate the items.
Second.
There's a motion to consolidate the approval of the 3 beverage operators into one motion. Motion by Bates, seconded by Lundrum.
Just to go, are we just, so the motion is just to consolidate them, okay.
All we're doing. Unanimous consent, any objection to consolidation of those 3 into one motion? Okay, seeing none, that's so ordered. Chairperson Bates.
Thank you. I move to refer back to committee items 9A, 2, 3, and 4 relating to the issuance of beverage operator license under probation for the purpose of inviting the applicants to appear before the committee and explain the discrepancies found by the police department in their applications and review the probationary license agreement drafted by the city attorney. The city attorney, and if I get a second, I'll explain all that.
Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Bates, seconded by Alderman Lundrum, to refer this item back to committee, Public Service Safety Committee. Alderman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a situation a while ago where someone came in and explained the situation for their that was involved with their denial. At that point, we created a probationary period that they had a year to make sure that everything was clean with this person, and then we would be good, because it's a new application and we should be more careful with them. These 3, they received their denial letters and the ability to appeal them. They did not choose to appeal them, so we had no contact with the people. We discussed it, and 2 of the things seemed to be just kind of errors of, I forgot it was 4.9 years ago as opposed to 5 years ago, and one was a minor issue such as, I think it was a seatbelt that they forgot, seatbelt violation that they forgot to list. When we have these conditions, it falls upon our committee, because the police will, because they didn't fill it out accurately and the police found it, that they will recommend to deny. So that means the committee, we have to discuss what we thought the person was thinking, whether they just missed the question, maybe they checked no and they really meant maybe. So I would like to have the city attorney write up a procedure for these kind of, it's not in the category of I served a minor alcohol, I did any of the items that would automatically deny you a license. These are things that are violations, driving violations, things like that. But we request that you put them on there to make sure that we're not issuing things to a scofflaw, as the word we use, where someone's a perpetual violator of laws. But when you have this middle category and you don't fill anything in and the police catch you, it's recommended as a denial. And what I would like to see is we have a category in the middle that says, if the police find something like this and it seems to be an error and just not filling it out completely, that instead of getting a letter of denial, that kind of makes the applicant feel like there's no choice for me, I should let it go, versus, I can go back and either write a letter, appear before the committee, or maybe even talk to the assistant city attorney and just sit down and say, I missed that because it was 4.9 years ago as opposed to 5. So that's my request on having these 3 come back, and then going forward, we'd have some sort of way of deciding these as opposed to us trying to figure out, did they miss this because they were reading too fast or whatever it is. And I know that the city clerk spends a lot of time with these people saying, be accurate, because if you're not accurate, you're going to be denied. And when we have a economy where it's difficult to get people in some of these positions, we want to make sure that just because they made a clerical error or whatever it is, we don't deny a person the ability to work for this position.
All right, Alderman Kunz.
Thank you, Mayor. I was going to talk on this issue prior to referring it. I'm not sure how I feel now. The issue really comes down to trying to streamline this process a bit. I think we spend too much resources on this issue. If we were to have a lawyer put together stipulations like this, it costs us hundreds of dollars. Each one we did. This is a big deal. There's so many things I want the city attorney to get to in the office that I'm afraid that we're spending a lot of time on this. I would love to see, and I don't think it takes the city attorney, I would love to see the committee put together how it wants to handle this. A boilerplate, here's how it does it, and just streamline this process. This isn't that big a deal. Either they did something that's, has drugs involved and we probably don't want them as a beverage, or we do. But it's like the dog thing at some point. We spend hours on some of these things that are fairly minor overall in the scope of things. And I think perhaps this is getting to that, and that's why I'm unclear. If the idea is to refer this back so we can streamline this and make this faster and easier for everyone, including the people who submit, I'm all for that. And to me, again, I'm not sure it takes a city attorney to write a legal stipulation as opposed to the committee going, here's how we want to handle these things. And I guess my only question would be to the city attorney, does this require your legal action, or could this committee make their own rules?
I think the intent here is to have the city attorney's office help guide the process, but then set up a process that wouldn't require the city attorney to be involved. And I have some thoughts about that I'll share with the committee when it comes back up.
I think we're all on the same page. I appreciate the effort there. Thanks.
Other comments or questions? Robert Stevenson.
Thank you, Mayor. One of Alderperson Kuntz's question was, could the committee have dealt with the issue? And the answer is yes, because we did. We made a recommendation to approve the applications with the additional restrictions that now Alderperson Bates wants to formalize it a little bit. So I'm supportive of some, but I agree wholeheartedly that we don't. I'm all for talking about it in committee, but I do want to streamline. I want to make sure that I don't want the city attorney's office, because the recommendation denied does not come from the city attorney's office. It comes from the police department. Excuse me. So the police department came and said, based on what they were able to find as part of the application, all three of the applicants that are listed in the motion currently failed to report something. One was a speeding. There were two speeding tickets. One was a seatbelt violation, and the other one was something that happened 4.75 years ago, and we assumed it was a timing issue, and that was driving after revocation, I think, or something. That could have been included with another act. But anyway, so I babbled longer than I wanted to. But yes, the committee does have the authority to make a recommendation, which is exactly what the committee did. If we want to try to streamline, I'm supportive of it, but I do want to make sure we streamline and don't add bureaucracy to it.
Others? Alderman Bates.
Yes, and that's the whole point of this is to have that third category that says it just wasn't filled out completely. And then whether or not it's severe enough that we have to put the stipulation on with the probation, or whether we just say, oh, that's good enough, we'll just let you go. So you're right. I just don't want to have to decide what they were thinking at the time. And if they could just give us a call and tell us why that happened, it would be much better than us assuming that what was going through their mind.
Anyone else? All right, there's a motion to refer this, these one motion to approve beverage operators for three individuals back to the committee, Public Works and Safety. All in favor of the motion will vote aye. All opposed will vote no, using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Item B, the regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of August 12th. Chairman Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting from the regular Finance and Personnel Committee meeting of August 12th, 2019. The minutes can be found on the city website. Item number 1, the committee recommends council adopt ordinance 2019-20, annexation of number 215, Integrity Construction, CTHG, Town of Vinland, 19.619 acres to be considered following a report from the Plan Commission. And item number 2, the committee recommends council approve the proposed contract with Baker Tilly to provide audit services to the city and the city-owned utilities for fiscal years 2019-2021. And I so move.
Second.
Alderman Erickson moves, seconded by Alderman Stevenson, to approve the proposed contract with Baker Tilly with regard to audit services. Discussion on that.
This is actually a recommendation to approve I thought we asked for comparison to be sent the last year, or 3 years ago. Recommendation. I missed that meeting.
Yes.
With my mom. Okay.
Because your mom.
Yep. Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
Committee was given that information and was. So this will be for the 2019 through 21. Alderman Bates.
Do we know what the information was that was sent back then, or came out of that committee meeting with the comparison?
Director Easker?
Sure. Actually, Alderman Stevenson had asked that we update the current committee members as to the process that we went through, if you recall, 4 years ago when we went through a full RFP process. The mayor appointed an actual committee to review and score and make a recommendation as to which audit firm the city should choose for the 2016 through 2018 contract. So we went through a full process at that time. That was recommended that Baker Tilly be provided that contract. And again, with the ideas here, since we just did that 3 years ago, we were not going to do that again necessarily unless it was requested that we did. But as part of that process, Alderman Stevenson wanted just the rest of the committee members, most of them who were not here at that time, to go back and review what we had done 4 years ago to truly do a thorough search and review and analysis of the competitors, so to speak, for our audit services, and that's what happened at the last committee meeting.
We looked at the criteria, we used scoring modules like that back then. Any other comments or questions? If not, there's a motion to approve the proposed contract with Baker Tilly to provide the audit services to the city and city-owned utilities for the fiscal years 2019 through 21. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0. Concludes your report. Thank you, Chairman Erickson. Report of special committees and liaisons for various special projects. The regular Plan Commission meeting of August 13, 2019. Council Representative Lang or Mayor
Thank you, Mayor. Reporting for the Plan Commission meeting. The minutes can be found on the city's website. Item number 1, Commission recommends Council approve annexation number 215, ordinance number 219-20, and the property also received the R1 Single Family Residence District zoning classification, and I would so move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve annexation number 215, which is ordinance 2019-20. Discussion. No discussion. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
Item number 2, the Commission recommends Council approve the preliminary plat of the first addition to Integrity Acres subdivision, subject to the comments on the preliminary plat review letter, and I would so move.
Second.
There's a motion and a second to approve the preliminary plat for the first addition to Integrity Acres subdivision, subject to those comments that were in the plat review letter. Any discussion? All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Using the roll call machine. That motion passes 8-0.
That concludes my report.
Thank you very much for the report. Item number B is the Board of Public Works meeting of August 13th, 2019. Vice Chairman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor, and the minutes can be found on the city website. As an information-only item, the board approved change order number 1 for contract 2-18, miscellaneous sewer and water main construction and street construction on Cecil Street and Adams Street to David Tenner Corp., Green Bay, Wisconsin, in the amount of negative $12,577.32. The board approved pay request number 7 for Washington Park Phase 3 to R&R Wash, Ripon, Wisconsin, in the amount of $77,649.84. As a council action item, the board recommends council approve the final payment for Contract 2-18, miscellaneous sewer and water main construction and street construction on Cecil Street and Adams Street to David Tenner Corp., Green Bay, Wisconsin, in the amount of $79,801.68, and I would so move.
Alderman Bates moves.
Second.
Seconded. Alderman
Lang.
Lang, I'm sorry. Alderman Lang. Approve the final payment for contract 218. Is there discussion on this? Alderman Coons, go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. This is the final payment. Really, a couple of questions. One is, I assume all the work's been done to our specifications. Any smoothing of the roads, anything it's all complete. Is that accurate?
That's correct.
And has there been any negative consequences for the developer? They get paid in full for this project?
Well, if you look on the change order that Alderman Bates referenced in her first item, we did assess liquidated damages to the contractor on this in the amount of $30,000.
Okay, that was for, I saw that and I'm going, I'm not sure what that was, but sure. Okay, so it was a concern because probably didn't go as well as most people hoped.
Yeah, and the liquidated damages was based on completion after the contract completion date.
And it is one where hopefully every project is an opportunity for us to learn and get better. And I think we've been trying to do that. And I think,
oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's one of those, how do we keep a flexible schedule, but also ensure that we get things done in a timely fashion, don't get too far behind where there's no catching up.
Yeah.
And I know you're working on that, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Alderman Bates.
Thank you, Mayor. And concerning the liquidated damages of the $30,000, there was some discussion at the Public Works meeting, and I had recommended to send it to Public Services and then on to Finance to see if there's some way to cost savings share with the assessments of the residents on that street.
Thank you. That be the future?
Right. Right.
So that discussion anyways will be on a future agenda. All right. Anyone else on this issue? Otherwise, all in favor of approving the final payment for contract 218, vote aye. All opposed, vote no, using the roll call machine. That motion passes 8-0.
The board recommends council approve the final payment number 2 for contract 1-18 miscellaneous sewer and water main construction and street construction on Andrews Avenue, Richard Avenue, Geiger Street, Whiting Court to David Tenner Corporation, Green Bay, Wisconsin, in the amount of $21,461.37, and I would so move.
Second.
There's a motion by Alderman Bates, seconded by Alderman Erickson. Discussion on this item. Alderman Bates.
And this is the second final payment due to clearing up where we had a ticket specified for some amount of material that was overlooked and then came to our attention through the subcontractor.
Okay, thank you for the explanation. Anyone else? Being no one else, all in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no, using the roll call machine, please. That motion passes 8-0.
That concludes my report.
Thank you. Then we move on to item number C, Community Development Authority, a report from the CDA. Director Hayes, you have anything tonight?
Just quickly, that the CDA continues to work on trying to bring 2 development agreements to completion for downtown projects. So we're not there yet, but we continue to work on them. daily.
Item number D, the Library Board. Report from the Library Board, Alderperson Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Library Board met today at 4 o'clock. There's a number of items I want to highlight from this past summer. This past summer is the second year that the library has been open on Sunday, and there are on average 90 people per hour that visit the library on Sunday. The average for the rest of the week is 92 people per hour. So Sunday has become a very popular day for the library, and people are using it, so that's good news. The library served 2,290 summer lunches this summer, and that averages to 114 lunches a day. There's a new piece of artwork at the library. It's a new kaleidoscope. It is right to the left of the entrance, right underneath the overhang, and it's a kaleidoscope. And so if you go and visit it, you can look in it, and there are flowers in the base of the kaleidoscope, and there are two ways that you can look at it. So I encourage you to go and visit that. I want to give a shout out to my fellow master gardeners. The circle has profusion zinnias, and there are a lot of monarch butterflies that are flitting around the profusion zinnias. I was there today, and I saw several of them. So please stop and take a look at those. The library this is the first year that they had the bibliocycle, and I handed out some information on that. The interesting thing about that is it traveled over 150 miles this summer. They checked out over 800 items, and they served over 1,000 residents and issued 32 new library cards. So that they worked with coordination with the Neenah Park and Rec Department and the YMCA, and they view it as a very successful summer being out and about in the community. So I'm anticipating that they will continue doing that, and it will be another successful year next year. They plan to be at the YMCA's block party, which is next Tuesday. So if you have a chance Tuesday night to stop in and visit the annual block party at the YMCA, that is going on, I believe that is from 4 to 7 in that time frame. So, and that concludes my report at the library. Please stop the library, check out some books. Thank you.
Thank you. That bibliocycle, generous support from the Friends of the Neenah Library.
That's correct.
Made that happen, along with graphic design. Sean Keepers did that, and Frank Bike Studios helping us out running in that. So thank them, because it's really unique for this area.
Yes.
Cool. Thank you. All right. Item number E is the reports from the Neenah Arts Council, which is also headed up by Alderperson Erickson.
Thank you, Mayor. The Neenah Arts Council met on August 14th. The next event that we have is October 3rd, which is called Neenah Rocks. There are about 10 venues throughout the city that will be featuring live music on that evening, and it will be a fun night to enjoy live music throughout the city of Neenah. Also, we started our discussions on the Celebrate the Season event, and this year we will have a holiday book theme for that event. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Any comments or questions from anyone? Seeing none, there are no petitions. Are there any council directives anyone would like to? Any unfinished business? Unfinished business? Under new business, announce I will have an appointment to fill the expired term of Sandy Miller on the Community on Aging for a 3-year term to expire September 2022. So we'll be doing that at the next meeting. Item number B is any announcements or questions that may legally come before the council. Are there any announcements? I have a couple, but we'll go to Alderman Lang first.
Thank you, Mayor. I just wanted to also highlight the fact that we have another box wrap in place now that is related to the Neenah Library. So that's located on the northeast corner of Wisconsin and Oak Street, and that's collaborative project that Historical Society is working on in the community. And also, our graphic designer is Sean Keepers, so he is really doing a lot to contribute to the community, and I'm really thankful for that.
Thank you very much. Alderman Bates?
A quick thank you to you for the cookout for the employees of the city. That was a wonderful way to. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Alderman Coons?
Thank you, Mayor. Under items that may legally come before the council, I'll look at Jim when I say this. But I'm hoping we can revisit the computer services to the council. It comes on our budget. We pay for these services. We haven't had a system that's worked at our meetings for, I think, 3 or 4 weeks now, which is a concern. We also, I think, the commitment, council has taken on the issue of going paperless, but it hasn't happened to the rest of the city. For instance, department heads, typically what happens is we get electronic documents that are printed and then scanned back in, and that's what we get in our packet. So if I have a question, I want to highlight something and ask and send that information, I can't because it's one big huge document scanned in. It started as an electronic document. Send the electronic document to Patty or whoever else is putting this thing together, and let's try to go electronic if that's what we're trying to do. But I'd love to have a greater conversation about our commitment to this paperless world and what it means for everyone to participate fully in that process. Because right now, we don't have everyone fully participating in that process. And we're paying money for it, and it's an extra work, I think, for council people, and I think we all need to either be on board or not at all. I hope we have that discussion coming up in the near future.
Okay. It's budget time because there has been discussion about the department heads also getting iPads or something so that help them to maybe do that. Director Hayes?
Thank you, Mayor. Wanted to make the council aware, I'm not sure that I had done this, but we are bringing forward an amendment to TIF number 9, which is the what we sometimes refer to as the Menasha Corp TID, to include the former Plexus Engineering building. The intent there is that we may have a prospective tenant for that building that could use some TIF incentive. It will be based on, obviously, on increment, but I just realized the council may not be aware of that. We had a very tight timeline to complete that rewrite of that TIF amendment, about 4 days. And there's some reasons that we needed to do it that quickly, but that will be coming forward. So keep your eyes
open. It just came to us, so I'm glad you made them aware of that because I was going to send them a little email, but it came to us very quickly, and they'll be on your future list of things to look at. Council President Stevenson.
Yeah, thank you. Just as a follow-up to Alderperson Kuntz's comments, I have had a couple of conversations with Joe regarding the functionality of our, not specific to the software system, but and I've been a little neglected in following up on that. So I will commit to follow up with Joe and maybe summarize some of the issues that he and I have discussed. If you have specific issues regarding the utilization of the iPad, maybe send it to me. I can make sure that I get a list generated with Joe as to what current issues are with current utilization. I don't think it's a council responsibility to have to manage the software, but you are correct. If we're having software, we do an upgrade, we should be testing that, letting Patty have enough time to play with it before we get into a council meeting.
Alderman Erickson?
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a question for Director Hayes. Can you give us an update on how the Lawrence Auto Body movement is going?
It's coming very slow. The challenge that we are having is that there is a lien on the property, and the owner and the individual that holds the lien are not seeing eye to eye on how that should be rectified. I believe Assistant City Attorney Adam Van Vandenhoevel, I had that right, has been working along with me to try and rectify that, but it's not going as quickly as we had anticipated. We have started the clock ticking on the removal of the vehicles, which is at 12 to 18 months. I don't know that many vehicles are leaving, but the clock is ticking in that regard.
Alderman Bates?
As another update, the apartments on Winneconne, they've cut down a lot of trees. There's an empty lot, and they're all brushed up onto.
Sure. So the challenge there is the developer has discovered that there may be underlying soil issues there with historic fill of some type along the slough, which isn't uncommon. I spoke with him last week, and he was supposed to have results of there were borings done on the property and was supposed to have results of those borings early this week, and that was going to provide him the information necessary to see if he's able to move the project forward as planned, or if he's going to have to do modifications to the site plan to avoid areas that can't support buildings.
So it's more the footings issue and not a contamination issue.
Correct.
Thank you.
Correct. Stability of soil issue.
Other folks? Alderman Erickson?
That being said, is there a way to get him to clean up the brush that looks really bad on Winneconne Avenue?
I've asked him that, and I think that we're going to wait to see how this report came out at the beginning of the week. If it's good news, they'd be following very quickly with construction. If it requires modification, I don't know what kind of time delay that would entail, but if it's significant by more than a month or two, then we would talk about trying to get that brush out of there sooner than later.
I think that's been there all summer, and I think we need to get that taken care of because that is the entrance to our city for many people, and it's very unsightly.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a couple here. Number one, tomorrow is Rule in the Pool, so kind of the end of summer, so the Neenah Pool's closing. All the college kids have to go back. People have asked me why do they close so early when it's still going to be nice out, but we lose our college kids and we lose the lifeguards and everything, so we have to close this week. So that's happening. But you know what? I was out there numerous times during the summer, and the people who run the pool really deserve a nice thank you for the way that they run that operation and bring a lot of happiness to a lot of kids and parents during the whole summer. So good job to all of them. We had a very successful soft opening of the splash pad at Washington Park. We're getting really close on the Discovery ball diamond, which is kind of cool and fun. The playground, I'm sure you all drive by there at times, and the volume of kids continues to grow, and parents, and lots of great comments. We have a official grand opening of that park on September 14th, a Saturday morning. I didn't write down the exact time. I apologize, but
10 to 1.
10 to 1. Thank you very much. So 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We'd like to invite out as many of the public to that event on September 14th to rededicate Washington Park in the opening. But I'm here to tell you, it appears we hit a home run here because parents and family and that are saying, the whole park, whether, pickleball courts, the ball diamond, the ice rink is so much better than it used to be. The splash pad is pretty cool. So thank you to everyone that was involved in that. Next, I do want to talk next week's schedule. Mike has mentioned to me, and I think also the chairperson, they've conferred there doesn't appear to be anything that's earth-shattering or needs immediate attention for a meeting of the Finance Committee next week at this point, usually by Friday. We do have the click and collect at the grocery store item still hanging out there. They haven't been knocking on my door to do it. They know that it's going to be discussed and come up. At some point, I think Alderman Stevenson has mentioned something about a potential how on other licensing issues with regards to other places in the city. So that's going to come up at some point. But there may not be enough for an agenda, as I understand it, for finance. Is that correct?
Correct.
Victor Easker? I was also told the same thing on Public Works, that they really don't have anything at this moment that's pressing. But now we have these licenses. So, we may, I don't know, we'll have to have some discussions. I don't know how people think here, but if the only thing we had was the licenses, that's the only thing, I don't know how we want to handle it. But then that would precipitate, if neither committee needs to meet, we probably wouldn't have to have a council meeting on September 4th, 2 days after Labor Day. Or if we did, it would be just for those 3 items, which wouldn't probably be, people can decide if that's enough. Jerry, do you have anything else that those?
Well, the click and collect ordinance would be coming to public services. That had been our intent to bring it to this meeting. But I defer to the chairman on that.
I understand that we were going to push it off because of the, Adam's not around. Is that correct? That was the last meeting.
Yeah, Adam would be here, so.
We have a draft of the ordinance prepared.
That was the only item, and now we have something else, so maybe you will be meeting, but I don't know if that will precipitate a council meeting or not, so we'll see, okay? I mean, we'll talk about it as staff and chairperson. So my point was, both committees are pretty light right now. It won't be that way for a long period of time, because next week, I just checked my schedule, Mike and I will be starting to meet with department heads with regards to budget requests. So we'll get into that. So I just want to make you aware of that it's possible. Next Tuesday is also Boogie and the Yo-Yos by future Neenah. So that's another thing that's coming up. So those are things that we will have some discussions on. Lastly, 2 things. I do want to wish Alderman Boyette, for those of you, I don't think she cares, but she's getting a new kidney from her husband, Derek, and down in Madison. And we wish you well. We'll keep you in our prayers, and hopefully everything goes well, and we'll see you. You may have to take a little bit of time off. And so if she's missing for a little bit, that'll be why. But things going to get a new kidney. So we're really excited about that, and we wish you the best, okay? And then lastly, the last thing I have is, I do want to mention, you don't do this a lot either, but Neenah lost a truly remarkable lady this last couple of weeks, someone who was active, dedicated to the community. She was a cheerleader, a volunteer. That's Todd Stevenson's mom, Dee Novotny. And we're going to miss her. So things are good here in Neenah overall, and everyone's going to have a great Labor Day weekend. Joni will send something out about the Labor Day parade. Anyone who wants, Todd and I discussed it a little bit. Anyone who wants to, I don't know if we'll get the fire truck out or anything, but welcome to walk with me, or we'll see how many people are going to participate. But maybe we can just get the truck and walk behind or something. If people are interested, the Labor Council has extended an invitation. They'll usually just send it to me, but they tell me that it's also for the council. So, okay? Anything else? All right, hey, look at this. If I went to talk so long, we would have been done before 8.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
There's a motion and a second for adjournment. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you very much.
Broadcasts of the City of Neenah Common Council meetings are produced by University Studios of the University of Wisconsin, Fox Valley. Neenah residents can get information about City Council meetings, City Committee meetings, meeting agendas, and other documents via the City website, www.neenahgov.org. Neenah residents can express their opinions about city issues or about these broadcasts by contacting the mayor's office. contacting their city alderman, or by completing the electronic feedback form on the city website, www.neenahgov.org. All public portions of the meetings are recorded in entirety and are not edited for playback.